All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining the Black History Month celebration hosted by the network BICP National as we continue to celebrate Black History Month 2022. My name is George. Excuse me. Sorry. My name is George Harrison, and I'm serving as the Chief Program Officer for the network, which is the first employee group here at AT&T. Thank you for joining our event, Organize for Progress, as we continue again to celebrate Black History Month. I'm going to turn it over now to Derek Avery, and we'll go ahead and get the event started. Thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to say good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Black History Month celebration, the evolution of the network BICP, Organized for Progress. My name is Derek Avery, and I'm a member of the network BICP National Program Planning Committee. And Carter G. Woodson established the Negro History Week in 1926, and it has since grown into a month-long celebration of the achievements, contributions, and history of Black people. Today, we have Kenya Price Berry, who will be moderating our event. She has held several managerial positions at AT&T and relocated to Dallas in 2016 to head a team within finance billing operations. Kenya has been an active member of the network since 2004 and currently serves as Southwest Regional Director of the Network BICP National Board. At this time, I will now turn the program over to our moderator, Ms. Kenya Price Berry.
Thank you so much, Derek, and happy Black History Month to everyone. It is my pleasure to be your moderator and to introduce our guest panelists for today's program. Our first panelist is Professor Paula Glasby. Paula has held many titles here at AT&T and in our employee group. Her previous roles in AT&T include Assistant Vice President of Operations, Customer Service, and Vice President of Project 2020. She is a founding member of the Alliance Employee Group, the DFW chapter, and formerly served as National Treasurer and National Marketing Director of Alliance. Currently, she is an adjunct professor teaching business discipline at Dallas Christian College and Dallas College. Our next panelist is Madam CEO, Gina McCray. Gina began her career at AT&T in 2004 in mobility customer care, joining the Board of National Directors of the network in 2017. She has served previously as Chief Membership Officer and Chief Operations Officer. She is currently our Chief Executive Officer. Our next panelist, Madam Angela Foster. Angela, who is currently working in construction and engineering here at AT&T. She is a previous Service Excellence Award assistant, and Angela currently serves the network BICP as our newly elected chapter liaison of the virtual Indiana chapter. Our next panelist is Madam Frangela Merritt. Frangela is currently a member of Tower and Strategy and Roaming, a division within Network Engineering and Operations Business Organization, and an active member of the D&I Cultural Committee for TP&O. Currently, Frangela is the president of our Metro Atlanta chapter. Our final panelist is Ms. Vanessa Spence. Vanessa is a graduate member in the inaugural class of the Executive Fellows Program. Vanessa currently serves as our newly elected VP of Professional Development and Talent for our Metro Atlanta chapter. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our questions. I have been looking forward to this program since it was announced, and I know all of you have too. So we're going to jump right into it. My first question is for Professor Glasby. Can you share with us some of the challenges and some of the accomplishments your team experienced when you all began creating and building the Alliance ERG here in Dallas?
Sure, Kenya. First of all, let me thank you guys for hosting this call. I'm really excited to hear the panelists as well as the questions that come from the participants. So you guys don't be shy. When we talk about challenges, I have to first talk about what was going on within the company as well as what was going on within the country at the time that we were formed. Um, Back in the 60s and 70s, and I know that's a long way back for some of you, not so long for me, but for some of you, back in the 60s and the 70s, the civil rights movement was alive and well. It was fruitful, it was impactful, and quite candidly, it was one of those things that really helped a lot of us get employed as well as get promoted. So out of this period, affirmative action was born. Now, AT&T, or the Bell system as it was back then, was pretty much slow to kind of take on implementing affirmative action. So in 1970, some of you may remember the consent decree was formed and signed by AT&T, and that led the way for increased hiring, increased pay, as well as participating in getting a lot of employees promoted. So the Bell system being one of the largest employers in the country at the time, as well as one of the companies that had been pointed to specifically as not having really good hiring practices, was motivated, for lack of a better word, was motivated to make the changes. I myself am a recipient of affirmative action. I was hired into the Bell system in 1981. And so at that time, we were looking very closely, well, the government was looking very closely at the hiring practices of all large corporations. One of the side notes that I'd like to make right now is that know your value. And that's one of the things that I want to impart to the organization, is really understanding our value. Because if you don't understand your value, then it's hard for someone else to understand your value. Quick story about my entree into the Bell system. I went to the Bell system and interviewed and was told that I was eligible to take a non-management sales job. Now, no shade on non-management, but I was staring at a degree and a lot of student debt. So a non-management job was not really what I was looking for to help me pay off my student loans. 6 months later, through affirmative action and being positioned with a Black human resource uh, person, I was able to get into the management stream through the account executive sales position. So know your value, understand what's going on within a company, and then take advantage of those resources that are available. So affirmative action, live and well, African Americans are making good strides into the company, but lo and behold, into the 1980s, President Reagan became president. And he vowed as part of his platform that he would roll back a lot of the civil rights, not only for minorities, but for women as well. He also eliminated a lot of the agencies that were actually overseeing a lot of the affirmative action opportunities. So employee resource groups, or the Alliance, as it was called back then, we grew out of a necessity. We grew out of survival, because we knew in order to keep the gains that we had made, we would have to have a voice within the company. So we made the Alliance was actually became a formal company in 1985. So and quickly the news of the Alliance, it kind of went like the Underground Railroad, for lack of a better term. It was spread throughout the country. So chapters were being formed everywhere. So in 1987, the Dallas Fort Worth chapter was born, and I was one of the founding members of the organization. At the time, the Alliance put a lot of focus on professional development because we saw that as a way of getting people elevated. And we had a very strong philosophy of each one, reach one. So we put a lot of emphasis on professional development. Our second emphasis was on economic advocacy because what we learned was that the company saw more value in us the more independent we became. So challenges, yeah, a lot of challenges, but probably no different from what you guys are seeing. Membership. Understand that it's hard to get people to join a volunteer organization. But every time we talk to someone, let's ask them, what's in it for you? What would make you want to join this organization? And then tailor your programs around what your people say they need. Because when they see there's something in it for them, they will come to you. You won't have to go to them. And for us, the Alliance became the stepping stone. Whenever the company was looking to promote someone or put someone in a strategic lateral position, our Power of One mentoring program was so impactful and so substantive because we got it copyrighted. They came to the Alliance and asked us for a list of the candidates they should consider for most of those jobs. So I consider that a huge accomplishment when the company comes to you as an organization and asks you to help them do the right thing by their employees. So those are the challenges. Opportunities are sky's the limit. Continue to work on professional development and continue to look at your community advocacy. And thank you guys for having me.
Oh, we're not done with you just yet. I love that. Understand your value. If you don't, no one else will. That is so true. I've written that down. I think I'm going to put that in bold letters and put it in a frame. My next question for you is, do you have any advice or insight you can share with our national and local leaders?
I think the most important thing is communication upstream and communication downstream. I held just about every position you can possibly imagine within the Alliance, both at the local level. I was a regional director before going to the national board. So I can speak to the importance of communicating at all levels. You cannot expect the chapters to be following a philosophy if your platform from a national perspective has not been laid out concisely for everyone to understand. And one of the things that was really crucial for all the officers, it didn't matter if you were local, regional, or national, understanding what are those 6 strategic thrusts. And you guys probably have your own tenets or strategic thrusts that you are using as your platform, but there shouldn't be a leader in the organization who doesn't know what those are. We used to spill them off like scripture because everybody needed to understand these are the 6 areas that are most important to us. And you couldn't be a leader if you could not communicate what the organization was trying to accomplish.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Paula. My next question is for our Madam CEO. Can you provide your perspective on the current state of the network BICP today after recent years of reckoning with civil rights protests and during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Oh, goodness. Well, I am so excited to be here and was just literally forgot that I was on the panel listening to Dr. Glasby. I was like,
all right.
I wanted to listen. But I think a lot of the things that she was saying with her initial question that was answered really rang true to me when I think back to 2020 and what happened with bringing to the forefront with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and the countless others really just shone a light. I can say with 150% certainty that AT&T certainly sought out the network, right? To ask or inquire or just to make sure that we didn't necessarily need anything from them, but also, how they could help or, promote. And I think also for the network, I mean, on top of the pandemic, learning how to restructure to a virtual environment and pivot and all of that. And then, of course, our devastating loss of our CEO, Emeritus Latia Taylor. We had our plate over full, if I can say it. And just to be humbled and in a position to step into the role and lead the organization in that time frame, for me personally was an educational experience. And I immediately thought, okay, current state of the network. It was about for us, not necessarily coupling with, 2020, with the civil rights and everything that was happening with civil unrest and then with the pandemic, but also how do we deal with loss? How are we grieving? How do we still keep going after that? I think that this organization, just like our people, quite frankly, are extremely resilient. I cannot tell you the love and the outpour, the reach, just on all three of those levels. What can we do? How can we help? I've never seen us come together so strongly and have allies come together. So the current state of us right now, the network right now, we got some work to do, but we are rising from the ashes. We are getting back to what's important. We're making sure it allowed us, I think, 2020 and all that it encompassed, allowed us to really think back to what's important, really allowed us to think to why are we doing this? Why are we here? What is our importance? And listening to Dr. Gillespie talk, really just those are the thoughts that I had. Like, why are we here? Like, what happened way back in 1969, right? That got us established, and how can we continue on that movement? So I think that we are in a good place to continue to grow and expand. Those of you that remember the 2019, the 50th anniversary, reestablished that, reintroduced us, I think, if you will, to the organization, to AT&T as a company, but also nationally to other organizations. We've been reached out to and sought after for the fact that we've been doing this for so long, and that a lot of companies outside of AT&T, they're starting the ERG groups, and they're calling on the network to say, hey, can you come and tell us how y'all been doing this for so long? So I am overwhelmed with just the greatness that this organization represents and how other people view us. And I think that, like I said, our current state, we're growing. I want us to see how great everybody else sees us and why it's important that we continue to do what we do and continue to pave the way. Because even now in leadership and meetings and things like that, people still look into the network to see, okay, how do y'all handle this? What are y'all doing? And so I think we need to stand up and continue, take our rightful place and continue to be that arms around the community, the company, employees, open to all members, and just create that atmosphere that Dr. Gillespie was talking about, the urgency, and create the sense of urgency. So I'm super excited. I think we needed, if I can say that without, cringing, we needed 2020. Coming off of 2019, we needed 2020 to really go, hey, y'all, where are we at? What we need to do? Where do we go from here? So I think we're in a great space. I know we're climbing for greatness, and I'm just excited to be and humbled to be along for the ride.
Yeah, I think we're in a great space to being up close and personal with it. And I love what you said about rising from the ashes. Like, we can use that in every aspect of our lives, right? Just keep rising. My next question for you is, what are some of the ways the network BICP can continue to grow and attract new members? Like, we ask this question probably every year, right?
We do. But the answer is always the same. The root, it's the execution. I think of how we're going to do it, but it's always, what do our members need? What do they expect for us? And then figuring out, how do we execute that within the confines of AT&T, right? Because they are our, they're the reason why, we exist, for lack of a better phrase, but also standing independently. We are, we're a 501c3. We have the ability, outreach in the community. I think we have to listen. Part of our priorities for this year, our theme for this year is push, right? It has the two U's, the passion, urgency, utilization, and humility. We have to make sure that in everything that we do, what's the passion? What's the reason behind it? Why are we doing what we're doing? And that bottom line is the members. National does not work, isn't needed if there aren't any local, chapters. We're the umbrella. We are not the organization. If we don't have local members, local chapters working, it's just an umbrella. We're just housing. But if we don't have the people in the house, what good is the house? We don't need it. And so for me, I really want us to get back to, the push. Get back, find your passion. Why did you join? Why are you here? Why are you on this call? Why are you taking time out of your day, right? Because we all got a million things that we could be and should be doing, but we're here. What's important? And then utilizing our resources. I found that we have so many untapped resources and potential just everywhere, all over this organization that we haven't tapped into. Urgency, creating that sense of urgency that this is important. This is important work that we're doing. And we need everybody to say, what can I do? Or to come and say, hey, I know how to do this. Hey, I'm really, great. I really think the network could benefit from, or as a member, I want to see this. We need to hear when we send out surveys, when we have our chapter leaders have our body meetings and we speak, we need our members to talk to us and let us know what we're doing right, but what we're not doing right, so we can figure out how to fix it. We don't want you going, I don't fool with the network because they're not, doing what I need, what I need. I'm not getting my needs met, like Dr. Glasby said. What's the need? What do they want? It's the with them, right? The what's in it for me. I gotta know what am I benefiting from that. And then the H is the humility, remembering that it's volunteer, and no one person is greater than the other. The only reason why I sit in the seat as the CEO is because I got a whole group, a whole family of people holding me up and supporting me. I can't do this by myself. I wouldn't want to do this by myself. And just remembering, what we're doing it for, being humble. And so I would say stretch a little bit further. All of our leaders that we have, give an extra 30 minutes. Give an extra, send out that extra email. Reach out to that one other person and say, hey, let me tell you about the network and what all, and how we can benefit, not just how you can benefit from us, but how we can benefit from you, because we need you. You're the members. So I think that's how we grow and attract, is we have to get out there and, let people know that we're here and we need them. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. My next question is for Madam Angela. So, Angela, during our 2021 town hall, you and your chapter came and just took the award ceremony by storm. You guys did really, really well. And we'd all like to know how. Can you share with us the challenges your chapter faced and how you all were able to overcome those challenges and rebuild and engage your members? Angela, are you on mute? I'm on mute. I'm always on mute. Can you hear me now? I can hear you now. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm always on mute. But what I'm going to say is the challenges that we have are the same challenges that every chapter has had. But in 2019, at the end of 2019, we became approved to be a new chapter or to come back virtual. And that was great. Everybody was so happy about it. And then, we had our Martin Luther King essay contest. We had our Black History Month program. And being brand new to this, most of the members, it was a challenge, but it was so fun and the adrenaline was pumping. And then March 2020, the brakes went on. So we were 3 months into it, and then COVID happened. So with the challenges of COVID, not being able to get out to the members to see them face to face posed a challenge. So what we did, we ended up doing what's called our lunchtime lessons so that we could do something every single month to keep our members engaged and to let them know that we are still here. We didn't disappear when the pandemic came along. And with the lunchtime lessons, what we tried to do was line those up with a theme every month. For instance, we just had our Black History Month event on Tuesday, but it was our lunchtime lesson. So we tried to combine the two together so that people know, yeah, we're still having a lunchtime lesson. Even though it's hard to get speakers to come, we will even ask everyone just to do whatever Nationals is doing. Let's stay engaged and let's keep it pumping. Let's keep it moving. Kim Grace, who is our past president, she made sure that when we came back on board that we had people that were passionate for service. And, everybody's not cut out for it. Everybody doesn't want to commit to it. And because of the 7 people on our board that were committed, that helped. We all supported each other. And then everybody bounced off of ideas off of each other. So we all we got into it and we were one sound, one band. And so we ran out to the community, we reached out, we stayed active, even when we get pushed down. And we all get pushed down and feel like, oh my God, what am I doing this for? And if one of us got that way, then the other 6 would come in and just pick everybody up. So even though we had months that we only had 10 people that participated in a lunchtime lessons, we had months where we had 25 people participate. We had people come from Nationals. Gina's been on some of our calls. We had a fundraiser that kept people engaged. It was a fundraiser with Uncle Nearest, and we set up kits that people came to pick up. We had bourbon tastings, things that people that were passionate about, hobbies that they have, and that put us on the board. People were like, well, you know what? This is what they did. We raffled off furs, we raffled off grills, all that kind of thing to just keep our members engaged. That's excellent. That's excellent. We need to, monthly engagement with your members that's a good way to keep your folks involved. Thank you so much, Angela. The next question is for Frangela. Can you share with us what the Executive Fellows Program is and what its mission was?
Yes, absolutely, Kenya. Thank you so much. So the Atlanta Executive Fellows Program is a leadership development initiative designed to equip and prepare our members to become leaders within our chapter. Developed to be aligned with our employee group's mission, and we've trained our candidates focusing on our 4 transformation pillars. So participation in this program is totally voluntary for our members, and right now exclusive to the Atlanta chapter members. So our mission is simple: it's to empower our members to become leaders within our organization. And we have a 4-pronged program purposes, and they are to properly identify talent and to build upon that talent pool, to enhance membership engagement, to groom our members for leadership, and to ensure the longevity of the Network Atlanta chapter. Now, this program shall operate annually, or we shall implement it annually. And our desired goal or outcome is every year to create a membership to leadership pipeline, or what we will affectionately call it M2L. And I want to share with you a little bit how it was developed. Right. It started as an idea where I wanted to make as an emerging Atlanta leader, I wanted to make something that was empowering and also a lasting impact. And employee group leaders across the country can definitely relate to what I'm about to share here. You know, most of us have been faced with filling vacant positions each year or term. And I call this the scarcity of available talent, not the scarcity of talent, but the availability of that talent that we do have, that we know we have. And through ideation or during ideation, the theory I wanted to test was if leaders could dedicate a certain amount of time with a member to help them develop and sharpen their leadership skills, you know, while using employee group activities as their training, will that enhance their interest in becoming leaders? Will that grow our talent pool? Will that address the gap in the process for filling vacant positions? So listen, we discovered our passion in speaking of, echoing what Gina had mentioned, we definitely rediscovered our passion for our members. And we definitely use that sense of urgency to address those challenges head on. Last year, 2021, was our inaugural year of the Atlanta Executive Fellows Program. And we began at just announcing a registration to our members in July, a program kickoff in August, monthly executive fellows seminars, and shout out to my peers for definitely supporting, and my mentor for sure, and also the members for working behind the scenes, and at graduation in December, where we celebrated the accomplishment. Now, this is my favorite. This is what I was getting excited to share with you guys. The outcome of our inaugural year: 29 members graduated from the Atlanta Executive Fellows Program. And out of those 29 graduates, 7 of those graduates became chapter leaders in 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to fill all vacant positions plus more. The board doubled in numbers. This outcome was beyond my wildest imagination. And listen, I pray a lot, so I call this an increase, right? And listen, this theory definitely works. So where are we today? Well, we are a success story. Within 1 year, we've grown our talent pool, empowered our members who wanted to be more involved in service for the network and D&I respectively. And there's no doubt in my mind, based on that outcome from our inaugural year, Atlanta will have this problem of scarcity, at least not for a while. Just with our inaugural graduating class of 29 leaders, we have at least 2 to 3 terms of leaders already. That's just my math. So also in closing, I want to share, this program shall be organized and managed by our professional development and talent team, which is led by Vanessa Spence, whom I'm honored to be sharing this stage with today. Listen, I'm already proud of her. And the Atlanta leaders are looking forward to serving our members with this jewel again this year. And as chapter president, I am super excited to have a front row seat to be able to witness such excellence. And I want to leave everyone with this, and this is something that my mom shared with me this morning, actually. People with great passion can make the impossible happen. And that is definitely our Executive Fellows Program. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Frangela. So let's go ahead and squeeze Vanessa in, because that's the perfect, right? She was able to participate in this remarkable program. Vanessa, please tell us what motivated you to enroll in the executive program.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say I'm so excited to be a part of such an awesome EG. I wanted to be a part of the program that would teach me to become a better leader within the network. I wanted to continue to positively impact not only my community, but my workplace. And when I received the invite, it seemed like a perfect match.
That's excellent. Do you have anything else to add? We've got about 60 seconds.
Okay, great. I knew I didn't have much time. Yeah, I have more to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I'll make it real brief. Being a part of the Executive Fellows Program has benefited me because now I am the VP of Professional Development and Talent. I'm able to continue to carry the torch for future Executive Fellows, and I'm also able to impact not only the members of the network, but also my community. So for me, again, it was a perfect match. We're looking for participants this year that's just a little pitch. But again, I'm very happy to be a part of of professional development and talent as the VP, but also the Executive Fellows Program. It was really an awesome experience for me.
Excellent. Well, good luck to you in your new role. Okay, so thank you all so much for having this conversation with me today. I've got a bunch of notes. People know, anyone that knows me knows I'm a note taker. So if anybody needs any of these jewels that have been dropped, I'll be happy to share them with you. We're going to go over to Joyce. Joyce, do we have time for any questions?
There are several questions that are out here, so please go to the inquiry tool, and also please take the time to vote questions up or down and add whatever you'd like to add. One of the first questions that I think has a lot of votes is where, and I think this is for all of the leaders here, where would you like to see the network in the next 5 years? Where would you like to see the network go? And I can start with that and see.
Can we get that, Jean, answer that question since he's CEO?
Yeah, so definitely in the next 5 years, I would love to see the network, of course, doing more, more, having more of an impact as far as people knowing and wanting to be a part. I'm looking for the implementation of programs like the Executive Fellows Program, right? Currently only available in Atlanta, but coming soon nationally, Miss Fran. But, so that we can really, I think we really need to, if we, start now, there is a plan and a path to where we're trying to get to. But I want to see in the next 5 years that when I am no longer in this seat, that there are leaders, new, CEO, a new board of directors, new chapter local leaders, and it's functioning and we never missed a beat. You can't tell that there was a change in leadership because we all have the same focus, the same vision, the same goal, the same mission, the same passion. So that's my thought for the next 5 years.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to add to that?
Joyce, I would love to add to that very quickly, just to piggyback on Madam CEO. Absolutely would love to see some great programs become implemented, including the Executive Fellows Program. So I am all here for it. That's all.
I just like to add, again, don't sell ourselves short. The Executive Fellows Program sounds like a wonderful program. And my challenge to the Executive Fellows would be, if you can run an organization within the network, why can't you run an organization within AT&T? So I challenge you guys to take that Executive Fellows Program, elevate it within the company so that the company starts to see the value of the Executive Fellows beyond the network. They see it as a stepping stone or a succession plan for opportunities within the company.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Looking at the time, I'd like to get a few more questions in, and I'd like to get this question in now. And can you give your perspective on how important it has been for the network members and AT&T employees to work with folks outside of our ERG to support our efforts? Who would like to take that one? This is working outside of the network and working with other ERGs and other supporters.
Well, collaboration and partnerships is key. When we had our professional development conferences, very little money came from AT&T. So the programming and the content and the speakers that we wanted, we did not have to go through approval processes to get the programming that we wanted. So I think it's critical to have those partnerships because that way you can collaborate on different projects that may be in conflict with the company, but to the best benefit of African Americans. I know in Dallas, there used to be an organization, I forgot the name of it, but it used to be an organization where all of the business resource groups came together and networked. I'll have to get it for you, but it was a great opportunity for partnerships. And we actually had a lot of those other company resource groups attend our professional development conferences because they were so well put together and they expanded beyond AT&T. It was what was the need. It was focused on the need of African Americans in general.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comment about reaching across to other ERGs and supporters inside of and out of AT&T before we move on?
Well, Joyce, I would like to just mention, I do think it's definitely an important part and very critical for us to do it. I know on a local level and definitely national. I mean, we definitely reach across the aisle. But, for Atlanta, I've added as one of our strategic initiatives, one of our goals this year is to make sure that we do collaborate with other ERGs within AT&T for sure, and also outside of AT&T.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question. And this comes from, how can we increase member engagement in this virtual world? Who would like to take that one?
Miss Angela, virtual Indiana.
That's something I think to address that. The way that we have been doing it to keep everybody engaged is we can step outside to put together an event, even though we can't have the members there. They can come and pick up whatever it is that they need to participate in what we're doing. Then that's how we've been able to stay afloat virtually. One of the programs that we do virtually, and we've partnered with another ERG, and that is TutorMate. So what TutorMate allows us to do is take an elementary school age child and tutor that child, speak with them once a week. They read to us, or we do whatever wherever their struggle is, and we connect with their parents. So, and that is a way to do it outside of the walls of AT&T as well. And when we have members, because we open that up to all the members, it's just not the board. And people are passionate about kids. People are passionate about education. And so that will bring more people in, and then that person, we drop that nugget down to that parent. That parent gets an administrator involved. And then we have a whole village, to, be advocate.
That is wonderful that your chapter is able to go out and reach into the community and really work on our youth who are struggling through this. So I commend you, and that's certainly an idea that we can spread throughout the country. So thank you for that. Would any of the other panelists like to comment on how to increase virtual engagement?
I think it's just real quick, just overall, and I think this applies to whether it is virtual or, in person. I think it's awareness. I think we can't assume, we got to stop assuming that everybody saw the email, that everybody got the blast. I think we have to push a little bit further to get that information out there, making sure that everybody knows what it is, because I get feedback all the time with, man, I didn't know that was today, or I wish I had known about it. I must have missed that. I didn't. So we've got to do a better job, I think, just as an organization of making sure that our information is out there and that people can get it wherever they are.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. I also want to add that it takes consistency too, because we have to keep pounding the pavement.
and just continue to be consistent for our members and, even for each other. So, it can be something as simple as not being able to find a document in SharePoint. You just stay consistent and keep pounding and keep going. And I think that, will make it, it will make it better for the organization, for the network, period, to be able to get people engaged. Because if they see us, we're the example. And if they see us involved and they see us consistent, they'll be involved and they'll be consistent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to take another direction, and this is, what qualities does the network look for in members who may be interested in taking on a leadership role? What do you look for out of your membership base to elevate someone to become a leader?
I'll start just because I see Fran. I know she got something. For me, anyone that is willing, is teachable, wants to, all you got to do is raise your hand. People know if you say, Gina, oh, help, let me know whatever you need. Okay, I'm gonna call you and we're gonna figure out where you fit. We're gonna find something for you. So I think for me, anyone who is willing to learn, I want to know more. You don't have to come in here knowing how to do. I still don't know how to do this. I'm learning every day. But being teachable, wanting to learn, having the will, the passion, the desire to serve, and we can take that and we can turn it into something great, for sure.
Yeah, I think Madam CEO said it perfectly, so I'm not going to say too much. That's exactly. I agree with that 100%.
The only thing I would add is find people where they are. Typically, everybody wants to get promoted. That was the easiest person to grab. I want to get promoted. I want to get promoted. Well, how are you getting promoted? Well, what job do you want? What are the skills that are required? Come to the alliance, come to the network. This is a safe harbor. This is a place you can come and fine tune that skill that you don't have right now. And it won't affect your money. It won't affect your appraisal, any of those things. So the best people to get are the people who are always raising their hands saying, I should have been promoted. I want to be promoted. Great. I got a job for you.
In other words, we want to be kingmakers, as they call it, as I heard on one of these events. So that's what we want to do. We want to push people because there are opportunities out there, especially now. I want to wrap up with one more question because I know that there are a few more things. And I think we've talked about this, but the question is, how important do you think the local chapters are? And I think you said that, but if you guys want to reiterate the importance of the local chapters.
Local chapters are everything. We don't exist. National is non-existent. There is not a need for a CEO, a COO, a CFO, all these other O's. There's not a need. If there are not local chapters, there aren't members here to execute, to do the work, to share with us, to show us what you want, to help us. There's not a need. It's the most important thing is going to be our local members. You guys are the ones that make it happen. You heard from Indiana, you heard from Metro Atlanta, DFW, you've heard LA, all these other, you've heard, it's not national. You haven't heard national at all. It's not, we just provide the help with the platform, right? But it's everything. Local members, local chapters are everything.
Thank you so much, Madam CEO. Are there any more comments before we go back to George? I would like to hear from our newest local talent development person, if you would like to add something. Yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you did that. It's okay. I'm ready. I would just say the only thing I would add is don't be afraid. Fran has done an awesome job in mentoring me, always available. If I don't know or you don't know, you just don't know what you don't know. But I think someone said it best, having a heart to serve and wanting to make a change, that's all it takes. And it's a lot of work, but it's well worth it. It's so rewarding to know that you're making a difference and you're part of a bigger platform, a bigger energy. So I encourage everyone to just step out of your comfort zone and do something bigger.
Thank you so much. Off to George now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Joyce. We appreciate that. And those are some great questions, and thank you to all of our panelists. Those were some really, really insightful responses. We appreciate that. Now we're going to hand it over to our Chief Fundraising Chair, Ms. Stephanie Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I hope everyone has enjoyed these programs throughout the month as much as I have. Network has done an exceptional job to bring us a celebration of Black history. It's actually fed my mind, my body, and my soul. And I want to explode. But I'm going to ask you to join me in this celebration and continue to support the network through fundraising. We are asking everyone to celebrate Black History Month by making a special Black History Month memorial donation to the network. I am dropping the link in the chat right now. You can click that link and make your donation today. You can copy that link to your desktop and make your donation tomorrow. But all I ask you to do is to make a donation and help the network during Black History Month by helping us to continue making a positive impact through our community and through our scholarships. Again, click the link, make your donation, and support Black History Month by supporting the network. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate that. All of the funds and the support that we get from our members through donations is really, really helpful as we continue to work and serve our members, our employees, our communities, as well as funding our scholarships. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. Well, I hope that everyone has enjoyed the program. We have just a couple more things we want to share with you. We want to make sure that you all please make sure to take a few minutes to give us your feedback. We have an event survey that we'd like to share with you. We want to get your feedback so that we can find out exactly how you felt this experience went for you. And we'll be sending it out to you as well. So again, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Black History Month 2022. We hope you all enjoyed the event. We want to thank our panelists, Professor Paula Glasby, Madam CEO Gina McCrae, Madam President Angela Foster, Madam President Frangela Merritt, Vanessa Spence, and our wonderful moderator, Madam Southwest Regional Director, Ms. Kenya Price Berry. Thank you also to our fundraising chair, Stephanie Johnson, the Network National Communications team, all of our national board members and officers, and of course, all of our local chapters and local members. I'd also like to take time to thank our entire Chief Program Officer Planning Committee and the co-chairs for today's event, Derek Avery, Nicole Slade Caldwell, Joyce Henry, and Ayub Munyenye. We hope that you have been enjoying all of the activities that we've had this month for Black History Month, hosted by the network and our local chapters, and also from a national standpoint. Please, please, please don't forget that Black History Month is not over. Tomorrow we have another edition of Get Fit Fridays. We have another Mindful Mondays coming up next week. Health and Wellness Wednesdays is also coming up on Wednesday. So please make sure to join us. And please also, please, please, please remember that the network is transitioning from Q Messenger over to MS Teams. So you have probably seen in the newsletters and your Q messages, please make sure to subscribe to the Network National News MS Teams channel, and please make sure to turn on your notifications. That way you can stay in the know about all of the great things that we have planned for you at a national level and in your local chapters. Please, please, please make sure you sign up and subscribe to the Network National MS Teams channel, and please be sure to turn on your notifications so that you can make sure you get the information that we would previously share on Q Messenger. Everything that we were sending out previously on Q Messenger is going to be coming to you now on MS Teams, but each individual has to go in and subscribe to the channel. So please make sure you do that. And please also make sure that you follow the network national SharePoint so that you can also stay informed on what we're bringing. This is taking the place of T-Space as we transition from that. And again, please consider making a donation in support of the network employee group. especially during Black History Month. These donations and your support goes a long way to support our communities, the members, and the scholarships that we put forth for our rising students as they get ready to go to college. Also, please take a moment again to complete our survey as we definitely want to get your feedback from today's events and know um, what how the experience went for you. And sorry, bear with me 1 second. And there's one more piece of information that we wanted to share with you. Also, please, as a reminder for the 2022 organizational priorities, we want to make sure that 2022 is a great year for you. Please take a look here. Our priorities are streamlining the organizational structure, grow, grow revenue and financial solvency, deliver cutting edge information to our membership and beyond, increase community involvement and engagement, and live the brand. Thank you all for joining us today. Please make sure to take time to complete our survey. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy. Happy Black History Month. And thank you all for joining. Have a great day.